The Tripwire Interactive live stream. I'm Jared Creasy, Community Manager for Tripwire Interactive, and joining me today as my special guest and, man who knows everything about Maneater is...
Hey, how's it going, guys? Bill Monk. I'm the game director of Maneater. I wouldn't say I know everything on Maneater, but...
I think you're probably the most informed person, at least in this room right now.
That's scary.
Yeah, I know.
That's a scary thing.
Couple things. It's launch week.
Super exciting.
It is.
Can't believe it.
We're super excited. We know a lot of you guys are super excited. We can't thank you enough. You guys have been great during all this time we've been working on the game, sharing your excitement with us. We've seen some great shark work, I want to say. It's just been an awesome time for us here at Tripwire. You guys help motivate us to make, hopefully, what will be one of your favorite shark games for many years to come. Now, today, Bill is going to be the one driving, where it's been me for the past couple of weeks. He's going to show us some tips and tricks. So we're going to be taking your questions as the stream goes on, and it's going to be fun. Oh, and we have some cool giveaways along the way. You might have seen the Frisbees here. We've got some bottle openers. Could be, for...
Actually, can we test it? Let's make sure
let's
they
make
work.
Sure the bottle opener works.
Before someone wins one.
Yeah. Fair.
All right.
I'm not supposed to give you a Corona.
It's okay. I'll drink a Corona.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
I'll join them.
Hi, Corona.
So,
but yeah, as Jared said, just super excited. It's a surreal moment to finally be here. We've been working on this game for a really long time, and finishing the game up in a pandemic has been challenging, but we are super excited to be at this point. And I just want to thank you guys so much for being excited about what we're working on and wanting to play it. This is why we started Tripwire and doing this, and it's just such a great feeling. And we can't wait for you guys to get to play it on Friday, and just hope you love it.
Maneater the koozie. But I'm going to preempt what I'm going to guess is going to be one of our most popular questions today. When does the game actually come out per platform? We're getting all that information from our various publishing partners, such as Microsoft, Sony, and the Epic Games Store. We don't have it just yet. Stay tuned to all of our social and the official forums. As soon as we have it, we will get that to you guys. Might be later today, might be tomorrow, but we are trying to get that information for you. But we do not have it just yet.
Yep.
So it's coming.
Yep. We have ideas of when it is, but we just don't want to say it yet.
We don't want to be wrong. We don't want to tell you at the wrong time, and then you stay up and it's not that time. So we apologize, but
and if that happens, though, it's not my fault. That's Jared's and community's fault.
Yes.
Of course. You get mad at him and not me.
But blame the messenger. That's how it always works, isn't it?
Exactly.
That said, Bill, why don't we dive right on in?
All right, let's.
And you can pick up where we left off last time.
All right. So last time you let off.
Environmental degradation is a novel driver for conflicts of
16.
Yeah, level 6. We had just become teen. We were exploring our way around the Golden Shores, playing a little golf. We saw some new areas.
Yeah, so you guys you farmed a bunch of different resources, nutrients. So why don't we go ahead and let's upgrade it. So one of the things that I like to do is the first thing I like to upgrade is my sonar to advanced sonar, because this allows me to find things easier. And it looks like we've got lots of resources, so I'm going to upgrade it to tier 3. And we got electric teeth. Let's go ahead and let's upgrade that bad boy too. Only enough resources for tier 2, but that's still better than nothing. All right, let's start exploring. Okay. Electric is good against bounty hunters. Yeah, let's go take care of this objective over here.
And while you're on your way there, I know we've covered this before, but we're seeing this question come up again. But why a bull shark, Bill?
Yeah, so the reason why we picked a bull shark is because a bull shark can survive in fresh and salt water. And Alex Quick, the original creator of this game, it was really important to have a very diverse kind of different areas and regions. We wanted both saltwater and freshwater, swamp regions.
So we wanted people to
along
be
with
able
the
to,
deep ocean.
swim around quite a few different distinct biomes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we obviously there's a lot of things in this game that aren't 100% realistic. Of course, electric teeth, for instance. But we wanted it somewhat grounded.
Not
in
really
reality.
a gourmand.
And
The bull
we thought it was
shark will eat
interesting
just
to
about anything.
have a little twist on it.
So you just showed off a little shortcut jumping into that exposed piping, or outlet for what turns out to be a sewer.
Yeah. I mean, there's those things scattered all over all the different regions. You can find sewers, caves, and inside of there, you're gonna find a lot of good things. Here. Oh, and an alligator. All right.
Seem to have found a nest of some predators.
I'm level 6, so I'm just going to chicken out. So, more barricades.
Random mutations aren't random.
One thing I like
They
to do
require
is
large amounts
you
of
can find
individuals of
prey
catalyst.
that you can grab onto, like the basic prey. You can then use it as a weapon to attack the other fish, stunning them. There we go.
Giving you a better opportunity to
Oh,
get
I
your
missed.
attacks in.
Oh, got him. Make sure these guys. Sometimes I'll go aggressive, but a lot of times I'll wait for the prey to actually attack first. Wait for that vulnerability window to go in there. Especially the barracuda, they're a little slippery. Okay, so let's just keep making our way down here. Closer to the tunnel. Should I talk louder?
A little bit.
Okay. Sorry guys if I'm not talking loud enough.
So we got another question coming in. How has Maneater evolved, and how have things like changed during development, from design and just other things?
Well, when the game first started out, was much more kind of simulation based a little bit, but we really wanted this game to have an interesting setting to it. So one of the big things as we were working on it is how do we actually like package this as an interesting story that's fun to experience. And that's kind of where we when we were originally trying to think of how we wanted to do this, we were kind of going to like National Geographic TV show special. Then that kind of morphed into an actual TV show. And then we were trying to figure out like who the perfect narrator would be to package the story. It's actually a little challenging for me to talk and do this at the same time. So that's why I'm dying, guys. But yeah, with Chris, so like we wanted to have an interesting narrator, and Mark Morawski, our audio engineer, he was like, well, let's try to get Chris Parnell, and we thought there would be like very little chance that we'd be able to get him, but he would be perfect for this. So we're like, all right, well, let's give it a shot. And, we contacted him. He was super excited to do it, and we felt really fortunate to be able to have him because all of his delivery and the lines that our writers did are just so amazing and hilarious.
All right, so I'm gonna let you finish your fight with those alligators and feed into another question.
Okay.
So, question coming in. Lots of things about, are we going to be able to turn off certain HUD elements and photo modes? So, at launch, there is not going to be a way to turn off a lot of the HUD elements or photo modes. However, we have heard people, requesting those things, and it is something we are going to be looking into as a post-release update. Now, for all things like that, the best way to do it is come join the conversation at the official forums, let your voice be heard, and that helps drive the development team's ideas on what they're going to focus on as they move towards the next update.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
The Gulf is home to
One for you, Bill, but hopefully an easy one. I already know the answer, but Let them hear it from you, the man who knows everything. Does the shark have a name?
Actually, it's unnamed. We do not have a name for the shark.
Not even an unofficial name?
No, not even unofficially.
Okay. There you go.
Do you have an unofficial name for it?
I do.
You do? What is it?
I'm not sharing it.
Oh, you're not sharing?
No. No, nobody can know. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. And Mason behind the camera there. I think I should talk to them about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor of this stream. Winia's Waffle Warehouse. Winia's Waffles. Why wouldn't we?
They are delicious.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call. Private number. Hold on. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back to the stream. Just right back. Mute everything? Yeah. Joe. How'd you get this? Yep. Yeah, I got it. Yep. Yeah, I know. We did the sponsorship last week. We had Flamingo Joe's. Yep, everything that you could put a flamingo straw in. Yeah, we talked about it. Absolutely. Not enough people. Yeah. Okay. Yep. No. That we did this. You paid. We did. Do more. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna do that for you, Joe. Yeah. For you. We got it. All right, everybody, and back to the stream. We have two sponsors this week: Winia's Waffle Warehouse and Flamingo Joe's, returning from last week. Because, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, Flamingo Joe's is the answer.
You don't want Joe mad at us right now.
I mean, I don't want Joe mad at me. But we're not talking about that.
All right, so I'm just trying to make short work of all these catfish while dodging these barracuda that are trying to stop me. Nutrient cache. So yeah, you always want to make sure you're always pinging that sonar. Like I said, the more you can upgrade it, the easier it is to find all the secrets.
It's gonna refresh faster, have more range. All the things you look for in your enhanced shark organ upgrades.
Yeah, so it looks like I missed one of the nutrient caches in the sewers. But I'm going to... let's go mess with Flamingo Joe's area.
Okay. Well, we want to drive some attention over to Flamingo Joe's. We want to make sure that people know that it's a happening place. You can see a lot of wildlife in action, going about their business.
As you guys can see, I like to constantly flip out of the water. It's just fun to do. Nice little tip too when you grab onto something. If you can throw them onto another surface, you can hit them and then follow up with an additional combo.
So you're stunning them.
Yeah. Getting those hits on.
Because
short work of that.
As we've said, a lot of the combat in Maneater is based around mass. So the larger your shark is, the more easy it is for you to put something smaller in your mouth and thrash it and do things like that. But alternatively, if you're fighting something that's bigger than you, more massive than you, they can do those same moves back. And it can hurt.
Sculpture out of trash pulled from the lake.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I'm fighting something that's bigger than me, I'm going to try to find smaller fish that I can grab onto and use the whip shot ability to throw it at it, get that stun so I can hit it. Otherwise, I'll just wait till I'm actually at least at the same mass level, because then whenever they flash and they're vulnerable, I can actually grab onto them and, thrash them and throw them and torment them. Eat some people along the way.
And that's going to cause, the local humans to start getting scared. You're becoming more of a threat.
Good. See ya. Hey, somebody here. Oh, man. Alright. Take care of this guy. The attack, go in. Just throw them at this wall. Make short work of them. So as you can see, that is a super effective way to fight enemies that you're fighting.
I mean, I'm not an ornithologist, but I think it's probably a bad idea to get in the middle of flamingos.
You just were just trying to show those poor swimmers how to get to Flamingo Joe's, right?
Look at all these poor souls. Get some good gobbles in here. Fast. Okay, so now I'm running out of air, so...
Got.
Okay.
Yeah. I ran away from her when we ran into her last week, but I think you've got the chops to finish her off.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got it. Bobby Bojangles. Alright. So you notice here when they're targeting, you want to use your evade ability right when they have you. And you can dodge it real good. And I like to do... I like to go in for little snipe hits, grab someone, whip shot them at the other boat. This boat jangles. Alright. 5 boat jangles.
Oh, I think you hit the side of the boat instead of her.
Oh shoot! I am hurting.
Might want to run away and fight again another day.
Oh well, let's. I want to get her.
Okay. Okay. Good luck. And while you continue the fight, seeing some questions about new things in the merch store. Now we have a couple new designs up there that we've been putting up over the past couple of days. If you haven't checked it out yet, or you haven't been back in the past couple of days, check them out now. Let us know if you like those designs. Good job, Bill. But as to the specific question of a plushie shark, that is not currently on our to-do list. It is something we've always kept an eye on for plushies or models for our various things. But that is something we need to see a massive amount of interest on before we go ahead and try and arrange that. Because there is a major initial cost investment to set up a line to do merchandise like that. It's not that we don't want to. Not that we don't want you guys to have it. We do. We just need to make sure that the demand is there before we can make that initial investment. So help us by showing us that you and 500 of your closest friends can buy a plushie shark.
Can I have one if we do it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
As long as you get 499 of your closest personal friends
I might
to commit to buying one.
I might be about 475 short, but
That's truly the real horror of the scene.
But the war.
all right.
Making
So
friends.
when I took her out, actually, you know what? I'm gonna hit this objective first. Then I'm gonna go back to the grotto and equip my new evolution.
Okay. New evolutions back at the grotto. That seems fair because you fought Bobby and you got a new evolution for defeating her.
Yep, this was the hardy evolution. So this is actually a pretty useful one. It helps you take more hits and survive easier.
That sounds downright useful. Can't complain about that.
Especially when you're trying to fight these bounty hunters.
Or this hunted barracuda that you're.
Yeah, but I got the skills.
Okay, you got the skills. No shark bills to pay, so to speak.
Yeah. Attack.
While you fight that barracuda, got another question coming in. Are there any difficulty settings? So at launch, there are no difficulty settings. There is just the base game to be experienced. However, that is, again, one of those things where we're looking at post-launch. If that is something like maybe a hard mode or something we can add for players who want a greater challenge in order to do.
Yeah, I would love to add a hardcore mode or maybe a single life mode. We'll have to see what people really want. And the reason why we went the route of not adding difficulties, at least initially, was we really wanted to experiment with, since mass plays such a big role in this, you can make this game extremely difficult by fighting things that are way heavier and bigger than you.
Like you could head, like as a pup shark or a teen, head into that deep ocean and find things that are big and scary, especially the smaller you are.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, actually, we could do that right now.
you want to do that now or a little bit later?
I don't know. What do people want today? They want me to go venture out?
I think maybe you should show them a little bit of what an apex predator, perhaps a little bit closer to your level, is like, and then show them something truly scary. That's my recommendation. But chat, let us know what you think. And while you're doing that, I'll answer another question. So when does the giveaway end? Currently, there's actually a couple giveaways going on. Partnering with our friends at Ballistics, they've got a copy of the game and an SSD going on over on Gleam. We are doing our own giveaway where we've got these wonderful bottle openers, frisbees, and a copy of the game, which I believe we are ending about the time this stream ends, but don't hold me to that. Enter now. And another question that I'll take: what happens when you die? So, if you hadn't seen my streams over the past couple weeks, when you die, you respawn back at your grotto, and that's where you can, decide, hey, maybe I want to upgrade my shark or evolve my shark differently, or maybe just think about why you died and go forth and do it again. So you're not
that
losing.
so rarely happens when I play, so I don't even know what happens when you die.
Sorry. It's only I who get to experience that.
All right. Oh, we got some hunters here.
Well, while you
And I
fight
got an
this-
alligator.
Yeah,
This little-
it's a two-way fight.
What's this guy?
Mexican stand.
This isn't fair. Trying to make me look bad.
I thought you didn't die, Bill.
I didn't die yet. Oh, look at that dodge right on there. Oh shit.
You say as you're about to die.
Well, I was showing off.
All
I was
right,
sitting
all
on the
right.
boat,
I do have a harder question that I could give you. It is one for you, but I'm trying to decide if I should distract you with that question while you're in the middle of combat.
Sure.
All right. What made you decide that an RPG was the right answer for this game?
I mean, it just felt right. It just felt cool.
Okay.
The concept of wildlife and the food chain and being able to grow just sounded so intriguing. See, now I'm level 8 and I can now grab the alligator, throw him. Boat.
I think that's the Alligator Space Program here in the Gulf Coast that you're watching. Bill show off.
Oh. Got him. But yeah, it was really intriguing, because being able to start, out as a little baby and then being able to grow as you consume things and level up and evolve sounded just so intriguing. And most RPGs, you'll level up, you'll get new moves, you'll get better, but you don't actually grow. So I feel like this is one of those areas that really helps make this, very fun experience.
All right, Bill, why don't you head back to the grotto and get that upgrade, and we'll take a couple harder questions while you're not in the middle of
coastal
combat.
habitat comes in contact with humans
Fair
more
enough.
frequently than any other shark of its size.
All right, so let's see what harder
The bull
questions we have.
retreats to the grotto for refuge and quiet reflection.
While you do that, I'm going to go ahead and put my
Party upgrade on.
Yep.
Okay. So,
Getting
are there
harder.
any plans for multiplayer or co-op in Maneater? You want to take that one, Bill?
Yeah, so currently there aren't any plans for co-op or multiplayer. We wanted to, one of the things that was cool and unique about this game was making a single player experience, and there was a lot of freedom that we were able to do with that in the systems that we develop. Because Tripwire is known for all multiplayer games and co-op. And one of the things that's really frustrating as a developer constantly is you have an idea, you want to do something like, oh, well, we could do that, but we can't do that because we need to replicate it.
Yep. So games that are built for single player and built for multiplayer are actually built differently, right?
Oh yes, and it was really nice in the development of this to not have that constraint at all. That's not to say that this concept would not be very fascinating, interesting. Just currently, right now, that's not the plan, and that was our thought process on it.
But maybe for something like a theoretical Maneater 2 from the ground up, where you think about, hey, if we were going to do this as a multiplayer co-op, what sort of systems would we need? How would we build those systems? Whereas for Maneater, the focus was on that single player RPG experience, and the systems were just built to cater only to that.
Yeah, exactly. And with any game that you develop, you've got a set amount of resources, you've got a set amount of time, and you got to pick your battles. What are you going to work on? And we wanted to really make sure like what we had in the game was really good and solid. So we just made that hard call to stick with a single player experience.
All right, so a couple questions on the Tiger Shark pre-order bonus. The Tiger Shark pre-order bonus is available at select retailers around the world. I do not have the full list in front of me. I know Best Buy and GameStop here in the US were some of the partners. As I said, I apologize, I don't have the full list, but it is select physical retailers. It will be listed on their store page if they are a participant in that. Though I'm not sure if there are too many left. I have seen some reports that some of those store pages have since changed, so they might actually be out of those copies. I've also been told, I believe, internationally, it is known as the Day 1 edition. So if you see that, I believe that is also an indicator that they are also partaking in that bonus. There is no other difference in the Day 1 edition. It is just an indication that it has that Tiger Shark.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it is something I guess I can say. We are talking with our partners about potentially making that skin available to other people later on. We have nothing to announce right now. And for now, it is only going to be part of that retail pre-order bonus, as I said. But maybe down the road, it is something that we'll be able to see out in the wild more wildly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
got any more hard ones for me? Wow.
I do. It's about the future of Maneater.
Oh,
what are we going to see in the future? Is it going to be small little content updates? What sort of DLC are we thinking about? Do we know how we're going to monetize anything in the future? Is it going to be like KF? Is it going to be like something else?
Yeah, so I mean, there's really nothing to that officially to say with that at this point. Right now, all of our efforts are getting this bad boy done, making this base experience as good as possible, and we just really need to see what the community wants, what they're from their perspective. We have a lot of our own personal ideas, but I think at this point we really want to see what does the community actually want. What do they like? What do they want to see more of? What do they feel is missing? And I think that's going to drive the future of gaming.
I'll go ahead and make you aware of at least a couple that the community won't stop talking to me about.
Okay.
Dynamic weather. People seem to want it.
Yep.
I don't know if it's all the people's, but some of the people's are very talkative. The other thing they'd really like to see is, there's a lot of other predators and even other wildlife in Maneater.
Oh yeah.
They want to know if potentially in the future they can be that way. So those are the top two that at least are coming across my desk. Food for thought. If you want to join that conversation, stop on by the official forums, join the Discord, chat with people. Talk with your fellow people in the community. See if you guys know what you want. Talk to us. Tell us what you want to see. And as you heard it from Bill, we'll be taking that into account as we think about what will happen in Maneater in the future.
Yeah. Awesome. Sorry, I'm getting distracted trying to...
Well, not the exact question. There was a related question. So, sharks with lasers on their heads.
I mean, who doesn't like lasers?
But I don't think that's going to be a feature, at least currently in Maneater.
No, I mean that is currently not a feature.
What about ill-tempered sea bass?
Maybe a future DLC.
Okay.
Alright, so let's see what we got going on here. Alright, so we've got the Apex Barracuda.
Okay. So we're gonna go take on an Apex here.
Yeah, so this
more,
one
the
is
shark
the
turns
Apex
back to this
Barracuda.
place of
Should
centered
be able
calm.
to make short work of this one. I kind of look at this as Apex as the Apex of training wheels.
Okay.
Kind of get you,
Teach you how, the
used
challenge
to
of an
it,
Apex fight,
make you
but
feel-
maybe not a slap down, a tail slap down, as it were, of perhaps some other Apexes in the game.
Yeah, So let's see here.
I just want to read this comment. I want to be swallowed by a whale, then eat my way out from the inside to get more powerful, and then eat the rest of the whale whole.
Yeah, I mean
That's a dream. I can get behind that dream.
yeah, that sounds pretty epic. I that's one I never thought of.
All right, here we go. Giving Bill some ideas here.
Wonder how that would be a pretty big whale.
Whale of a tail, you said.
That is. You like to do the flips, Jared?
I do. So I try not to flip into, giant posts because I feel that really hampers my style points.
Right.
So our community out there knows about some of the evolutions. Were there any other evolutions that were perhaps considered but not enacted?
That's a really good question.
Maybe something that might show up later, or in a future title if that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, I mean there were many different ones. I did joke about sharks placing things on their heads.
Even we have those conversations.
Short work of this guy before I try to flip Barracuda.
That's one way.
That is one good way to do it. Soul.
Another question is, will predators attack anything other than you? Currently, no. The way the sea life works, you are the biggest threat in the sea, and you are the thing that they will come and fight when you're in their area. Right now, it is not a feature that they'll go off and fight each other or hunt down on other wildlife.
The needle-tooth
While that would be cool, that
Barracuda.
wasn't really a part of the core game loop, so it wasn't something the team decided to focus on. As you had heard Bill say earlier, you have to make choices about where you focus your efforts. And for Maneater, we focused in on the core Shark PG aspect. The epic story between you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I can talk. We experimented with it, and it's definitely something that would be great to do someday. But there were a lot of issues with it, like them eating your food. But that is kind of like the holy grail that I would love for us to have it at some point in the game. Absolutely.
There's some other design considerations that you ran into in your prototyping, which pushed it down the list.
Yeah, like for instance, them eating the food that you're trying to eat.
Gotcha. And to loop back around, because this question keeps coming up again, specific release times per platforms. We don't have all those answers yet. As soon as we do, which could be later today, could be tomorrow, we'll be announcing those from our social platforms, via the forums. So just keep an eye out. Sadly, we do not have those answers just yet. We have some general ideas, but they could be wrong, and we don't want to share that information with you if it is wrong, because then you'll be more upset.
While most
So,
recognize
we apologize.
it as the title of a
Coming
classic
hopefully
rock
soon.
radio staple,
Just keep
did
an
you
eye
know
out.
that it's also
We'll be
a
making some
thing?
waves
Well, it's
once we
true.
have that information.
Yeah, so you see right there, I defeated the Apex Barracuda, and I've got my first bone evolution, which is the bone teeth.
Okay.
And all your Apex predators, when you defeat them, you get different bone evolutions. The bone evolutions are really good against bounty hunters and boats.
Okay, so what sort of bonuses does the bone evolution give
So you get tons of them. So for instance, with the teeth, you're better at doing damage to boats.
you? Okay.
You can do better thrashing. If you get the tail evolution, you can actually, when you breach out of the water, it'll do like a devastating like AoE burst kind of attack. You can also, when you get the body evolution, that's a skill that when you eat enough things, it'll build up this active ability. And then you can use that to smash into boats, smash into wildlife. Yeah, it's like our, it's our big kind of like tank warrior kind of evolution.
Okay. I think there's some players who will enjoy that altered play style that the bone evolution brings along.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we've also got some other evolutions that have different play styles with them. Some which we've shown off via little short snippets. We might even show some today, but we'll see how things go.
To the grotto to focus on personal transformation.
Yeah, I jumped into the grotto, so we're at Golden Shores. Should we?
Yeah, I think we
see
should
what happens when
head out to the Sapphire Bay.
Just,
maybe even swim a little bit further and see where things take us.
See what happens.
So, another question that comes in: do the apex predators come back after you've defeated them?
So currently, the apex predators do not come back after you've defeated them, but we are thinking about, potentially adding something so that after you've beaten the game, maybe they come back. What's going on here? We got a little fire hazard.
Yeah, you should do your part. I mean, who sets a fire in the middle of a grassland? That's just dumb thinking.
Where's that last one? There we go.
No catch and release program here?
I was tasting. Got a little distracted there.
Sometimes you just want to stop by the old watering hole.
Tasty little nutrient cache.
They're scattered and hidden all over.
Gene-altering mutagens.
They are.
The shark
That's
now has
one of
an
the things too why I was
asymmetric edge on the
mentioning
competition.
upgrading your sonar ability. People partying here? Can't have that.
Don't they know the golf course is closed after dark?
Oh, missed them. Oh. Yeah, so one thing you'll notice is when you jump in the air, if you have a target, when you do that, you'll lunge towards that target. So it's kind of a way that you can get even extra air in distance.
At least until things quiet down or they run out of hard limit.
Better get back. So don't die like a noob.
Holy mackerel.
There's a albino fish. So whenever you see those, you definitely want to eat them because that has that rare resource, mutagen X, and that's required for upgrading your evolutions.
So, something you want to keep an eye out for and make sure you have a stock of. All your joining the party, you've attracted more attention of more bounty hunters. That's something you feel like you're going to take on, or should we swim deeper?
I was gonna go.
So let's head out there.
Because then I'll just get distracted. I don't want them to make me look bad.
Yeah, so why we're swimming out that way? What's the difference between like a full evolution set and other parts of upgrading your shark?
Greeting the red tide has become an annual tradition in
So
Fort every June, locals
what do you mean by
gather
that
to watch
question?
the toxic
So
algae
there's like the
blooms
bone
sift
evolution
and
set,
encroach
which
on the
obviously
city's
changes the look of your
coastline
shark.
and beaches.
But there's also some other upgrades you can do. So like, what are the differences? Do they work together? Can you mix and match? Like, how does this system work?
So we have 3 different types of sets. We've got the bone, we've got bioelectric, then we've got the one that we haven't really talked about. We want people to play it to enjoy it. And if you have all the sets, so you can see here, we've got our jaws, head, fin, body, tail. If you have that complete set of one of the 3 that I mentioned, you'll get a set bonus, which will like up that power. But you can mix and match it to whatever you want. I actually prefer to mix and match. I really like the bioelectric teeth because, especially as I upgrade that, I have an AoE, so I can be shocking other things group of wildlife, and I'll apply the the bone body evolution, for example, which will allow me to use that active ability to like smash into things real hard. And then we have a thing, organ evolutions, and we've got a bunch of different things you can find. So right now I've got the advanced sonar and I've got the hardy one. But the other one, for instance, if you defeat Rosie, which is the apex alligator, it's the amphibious organ. And what that allows you to do is that allows you to, walk on land a lot. Well, not walk, flop.
Flop.
Shark floppy on the land much longer.
You can move land
faster.
shark.
Yes. Where's that land shark here? So there's something I love to get that skill that allows me to go on the land much longer and just flop on the ground and down the streets and eat tons of people.
All right, so that sounds like a useful upgrade to have, especially if you want to join in on those parties like you were earlier.
Exactly. So now, obviously, when you're, I'm only a level 8, so I need to be really careful the farther out I go because there are going to be hammerheads and other types of things that I need to worry about. Let's see here.
The water's starting to get deeper out where you are.
Yeah, and we'll just keep venturing out. Maybe eat a couple things on the way.
Like some fast food, a little snack to go. So we head out deep into the Gulf.
Seal.
Where the seal might escape from you.
Yeah, the seals are, they're pretty squirrely. So once I actually get to level 10 adult, it's much easier to kill them. And remember, whenever you kill something that's bigger than you, you want to get the meat chunks that come out after you kill them to fully get all of the nutrients that they have.
Because you couldn't fit it all in your mouth.
Yep. Okay.
There's that albino that you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. Get that for your upgrades.
Yep.
Another question. Is there going to be any sort of integration like Twitch Prime loot or anything like that for any of the streaming services? I don't believe that's something we currently have planned. So no, but it's definitely something we're keeping an eye out for. If not this game, then maybe in the future. But right now, no, that is not something that is going to be a feature.
Yeah.
Bill, could you pull up the pause menu real quick and go to settings? Somebody wants a closer look at the controls, especially since you're using a controller here.
Yep.
So these are the default controls, layout 1. I think there's a couple different layouts that players can opt between.
Yep.
So we think we've covered most of our bases. Let us know if we haven't, and we may be able to add more for you. Currently, there is not a way to do fully customized controllers, but if you are playing with keyboard and mouse, you can rebind any of the keys.
And we are, if that's something that when people play it with the controller, if they feel like we're really missing a layout, or they want the ability to completely configure it their way, we can definitely look at that for the future.
Okay.
Anything else that they wanted to see in here?
While we're here, we've got some basic gameplay controls, subtitles, tutorial pop-ups, sensitivity, mouse, keyboard, controllers, inverted sticks. On the PC, we've got some pretty hefty video controls in there. So you can tune the game a little bit to your personal PC.
Yep.
On console, I believe we're targeting 30 FPS on all consoles, and then on enhanced consoles, they'll get a native 4K experience.
Yep.
So the game will look very pretty at 4K.
Oh yeah, yeah. It looks very, very nice on the One X and the Pro.
Yeah, and if you're using an enhanced console and don't have a 4K screen, it'll actually act like an enhanced form of AA. So it's going to make the game still look very good, even if you don't get the full benefits of the 4K graphics.
So you'll notice too, since it's nighttime, we've got a lot of people partying at the beach at night.
Starting fires. At least these are happening on the sand, not, in the grasslands. Which, once again, it's a very bad idea.
Hey, where you going?
I don't think they want you joining their party. It was invite only.
Glittering
Back
white
over here.
beaches, fenced off for the sole enjoyment of the ultra rich, mega rich, and super rich.
I think I'm probably making the bounty hunters mad again.
You are. They're out looking for you.
Just gonna go get away.
So we've got a couple questions related to leveling up. So as you continue your swim, let's see if we can't dive into a few of these.
Sure.
So can you max out all your stats, or are different evolutions going to set your stats a certain way? Or can you just be, you know, the most powerful shark with all the stats?
Yeah, so you can, you know, we do have a max amount that you can hit. There's a great white.
Yeah, there's some other predators out here, that hammerhead. So there's some other shark life.
Oh, now
And that
he
great white
sees me.
has come to say hello.
So let's try to fight.
Okay, good luck. Remember, you don't have a grotto anywhere out here at the moment, so this goes poorly.
Shit. Now we got a hammerhead getting in on it too.
In a tag team.
The powers of society have retaliated with deterrent action. But mankind is ultimately impotent to stop Mother
Probably won't
Nature's
end well for me.
And while Bill focuses in on the fight, I'm going to handle a couple other questions here. So, how big can you get? We kind of want you to experience that for yourself, but let's just say you can get fairly massive in this game. I think you had a really good descriptor last week, Bill, and I'm kind of blanking on it right now, comparing the size of how big you can get to...
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, like in your mouth, humans like a cigar.
Yeah. So, that is the best way that Bill has put it. Thank you, Bill, for reminding me.
Just barely dodged that. So especially at this size, you really want to make sure that they do not get you, especially on their lunge move. And he's pretty mained and battered right now.
Yep.
That was stupid of me.
Remember, he's got friends out
shit,
here.
A killer whale. Fuck.
Yeah. And
oh man, what the?
I do believe you've been killed by a killer whale. So, Bill, who never dies in Maneater, if my memory serves correctly.
Oh, so this is what happens when you die?
This is what happens.
Oh, you see the screen? Okay.
Yeah. And you get to go back.
I feel totally cheated right there. I got sniped. But in my defense, though, with our live stream set up, I can't hear the sound of the game.
So that's what you're going to
if I heard the sound of the game,
player 3 joined the game.
That would have never actually. That would have
obviously.
happened.
So that's Bill's excuse. We look forward to hearing your excuses.
That's a pretty good excuse. That looked pretty epic. I wish I had a recording of that, how the killer whale came in and just wiped me like that.
So, for those of you who may just be joining us, trying to learn a little bit more about Maneater, it is coming out May 22nd. Though, yes, I know, on some potential platforms, depending on your region in the world, that may be a May 21st. But once again, we don't have those exact release times per region and per platform yet, which will be Epic Games Store for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox. And we can't wait for you to get your fins on Maneater. Just days away.
Absolutely.
So
this is actually one of the story things, so should I just not do that, right?
I think you will leave players to discover the story for themselves.
So they won't, we'll have to do other things than the Rosie. So we're in daytime, so let's find some golfers.
Oh, and I should mention, because I did forget, Nintendo Switch later this year. We don't have an exact month or date yet. Just stay tuned to all of our social platforms. As we know more, we'll be sharing more as we go through the coming months ahead. But PC via the Epic Games Store, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. And once again, with enhanced editions of the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, supported and getting a native 4K experience.
Okay. Hey, buddy. What's up? There's that other guy. There we go. Yeah, so notice when you have them targeted, if you bite at them right when you have that, it'll like throw you massively forward. And like an idiot, I'm about to die. Oh, look at that. Look at that. did not die.
So, Bill, just to remind you, sharks naturally do not breathe out of the water.
Oh, they don't?
They don't.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Should we remove the feature?
I think you might be one of the few people who keeps forgetting that regularly. So that Mako shark is kind of upset that you're in her area.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to, we call that floppy fish. Flop onto the ground.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite things in the game. It's just so silly.
And just because I see a lot of chatter about this, I will touch on, there are actually some people who did get their hands on the game early, because a couple of shops broke the street date. If you are one of those people, you do not have access yet to the latest build of the game, which will be our Day Zero patch, which will fix quite a few things and smoothen out your experience. So, we're going to strongly request you do that. Obviously, we think it's better. It's why we've been working on this stuff for the past couple of months, because the game's been gold for roughly 2-3 months now, because you'd have to, print it, ship it to disc, get it out there, ready for retailers. That's just how the whole process works. But while all of that was happening, the team has been hard at work trying to find any issues players may run into and getting fixes in place for them. And that'll all be there in the Day 1 or Day 0 patch.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, we've been working nonstop, pretty much just ever since then. Yeah. Just constantly tinkering and improving the game and.
Yep. A couple of as you said, some iterations on gameplay, a lot of things fixed. So we hope everybody's going to enjoy. And once we ship it and some other things start rolling in, that's going to be our next focus. Is as players discover stuff, because you're never going to find anything. That's just how game development works. Games are a complex beast. And no matter how much we wish it, we're never going to be able to find everything. And, players are going to have great ideas about how the game can evolve and be better in terms of the gameplay changes. So that's going to be the next thing for the team, as well as we briefly touched on earlier. There are people prototyping and thinking about what the future of Maneater will be, and we'll have more to announce on that as they come back to us with those prototypes and say, hey guys, this is really fun, check it out, and we'll start talking about that maybe later this year.
Yeah. Just taking a little shortcut there.
Once again, Bill, breathing, water, shark.
Yeah. Wait, they can't do that?
Maybe if you fought Rosie, you can stay out there a little bit longer.
It's true. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I feel like fighting a
bigger alligator?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, bit him on the tail. That's probably gonna make him unhappy.
Yeah. Grab that little musket lunge. So then I can throw it at him and stun him.
Well, you do have electric teeth, and would you call that move the Tesla?
The Tesla. I don't know. Is that copywritten?
So beyond the tiger shark skin, are there any other just cosmetic skins in the game for your shark?
No, that's the one cosmetic skin. Now keep in mind all the different sets that you apply change you visually.
Okay.
And along with that too, as you upgrade them, they actually change as well.
So they change even further as you upgrade those various sets.
They'll be much more subtle.
You've delimbed him, sir.
I have.
He seems very upset about this.
Made short work of him.
Good job. And I think you briefly found at least one landmark earlier, and I know in previous playthroughs I found some landmarks, which kind of leads into this next question. Are there any sort of Easter eggs in the game that players are going to run into?
Oh yeah, I mean each region has a series of a bunch of hidden landmarks, all with hilarity and cool Easter eggs. There's a lot.
Some tie directly to the world of Maneater. Some reference perhaps other games made by Tripwire. Some reference popular other shows, movies, and games that you might have grown up loving. So keep your eyes out, find them all.
All right. You know, one thing that is definitely a lot of fun, you know, when I was talking about the, you know, growing and getting bigger. So, you know, like when you start out the game, all of these things are very difficult. But, you know, now that I'm the size of these alligators, they are not as bad now.
Yeah, you can grab them in your mouth.
Oh,
you can use them as, you know, your tail whip tool and whip shot them back. When I fought these alligators, I was a little pup shark, and you know, just 1 or 2 hits, and that was it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely not the case now. Oh.
So even in this 3-on-1 fight that you're going on, you're just hanging in there in the thick of it.
Yep. You notice how much I use, you know, whip shot. Extremely effective, so definitely make sure you use that tool to your advantage. Throwing it into things will do extra damage to it and other things as well.
And you're level 9. You're progressing quite nicely here. Your shark's getting bigger.
Yeah, I like to do, you know, a mixture of, you know, munching on stuff and moving along, completing objectives, whatever kind of suits my fancy.
So tying into some of the combat you're doing, can you parry, or how does that core combat loop really work well?
Yeah, so you know, each different wildlife has a series of attacks that they do, and if you watch for them to attack, you want to kind of like dodge what they do. So we have the evade ability, and you want to wait for them to come in to attack you, hit your evade button, and then follow up with an attack. And if you're using a controller and you click in the right thumbstick, R3, that's actually a focus ability, so you can focus right in on the target. And I use that a lot to, you know, stay onto the target. You know, it's kind of like a, you know, a jousting match, if you think about it. When we were developing this, we kind of looked at this as like, you know, aerial combat. The only difference is you don't have guns.
Yeah. And it's all, of course, has nothing to do with air, except you're all underwater.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, 3-dimensional.
Abstractly.
Yeah. But it does actually have quite a lot in common, as you said, with aerial combat, just at a slower pace where, you know, two foes are circling each other, dodging the attacks, coming in for their own attack. And you do a good job of it. I've been learning as I've been going along.
Yeah, and you know, and one thing when we developed this, you know, we really wanted swimming to feel just really fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I you know, I just, you know, I love being able to jump out of the water and do flips and go on the land and go back in the water.
A local critic once wrote that Amos Beauregard was the Rodan of the bayou. But Beauregard was functionally illiterate and had no idea.
One more combat-related tangential question.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing to whip shot?
I would probably say the turtles. Turtles have extra stun ability. Just a little secret out there. So if you're fighting something, especially if it's very difficult and you can find a turtle, take that turtle and whip shot it right at the thing.
There you go.
For hilarity, I love to whip shot people.
Okay.
Or, you know,
well, they're just kind of
lots
like fleshy meat bags.
It is fun to fight something. Once you can actually hold it in your mouth, you can throw it. You can throw it on land. You can throw it up in the air. And that is really fun to do. And it's hilarious. The one move I'm trying to perfect is having something in my mouth, throw it straight up, and then breach out of the water and grab it. I've gotten really close, but I haven't actually pulled that off yet.
Bill, I think a couple people are calling you the true monster of the sea. Also, how dare you do that to those poor turtles?
It's true.
And also...
But they're virtual turtles.
Now everybody knows the secret.
Now they know the secret.
So, obviously, we've got some questions here from some people who didn't watch the first stream. Because they want to know, is Alan Wilson in this game? And all I'm going to say is, watch the first stream. And remember, to protect your neck. Sunshine Sunscreen, our first sponsor. You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, I think by just, you know, the laws of the universe, Alan has to be.
I think
in every Tripwire game.
Alan's been in every game. I think one of our programmers has been in every game. Most of the team is represented in some way.
Yeah.
As we briefly touched on, I think in the last stream, almost all the in-world game businesses like Whiniest Waffle Warehouse. Yeah. Why wouldn't we? Somebody's been moonlighting as a business owner here in the Gulf of Mexico when he should be making a game called Maneater. So, just saying.
Oh, I love how the light looks.
Yeah.
Under the water like that.
Very pretty.
Yeah, it's actually just, the interesting thing with this game is, you can have intense combat. You can sometimes just swim around and chill out.
But can you swim around and chill out as Alan? Is a tangential question I'm seeing.
I don't know if is the world ready for that?
I don't think they are. But, once again, stop on by the official forums, get that poll going, show us the demand.
Give us that demand.
And I'll take that straight to Alan's desk.
Like an Allen shark or something?
I don't know.
We'd definitely do something weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if Alan's gonna like this. But,
Alan never likes it, but
I think he seriously likes or secretly likes it, but says he hates it. What do you think?
I don't know. You can never trust an Alan. He's too British.
Alright, just keep doing these fabulous flips.
And a final Alan question. How much of Tripwire's games designed is based around the thought, how do we put Alan in this game?
Well, it's just natural, it's...
Probably far too much, and yet at the same time, far too little.
See me whip shot him right on that light post?
I did.
Oh, that made me feel good. That made me feel good about myself.
Yeah. Because you died earlier. In the game where you never died. Just thought I'd point that out for no particular reason.
Right. Well, granted, there's no audio.
Yeah. You're just
I got sniped attacked by a killer whale.
You're just gonna keep bringing that back. Yeah, I get it.
How many levels above me was that?
1.
No, what? The killer whale? Oh, look, there's a turtle.
Alright, are you gonna... right there.
Turtles offer predators
Still
dense
on the wall.
protein and a delicious taste.
Finish them
much
off.
like a cashew cluster.
Oh, I gotta be a dog.
So, you're actually quite close to being an adult.
Not mentally.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, Bill, but...
Yeah.
Your mouth. Straight into the microphone.
Just thought I'd get it out there.
Alright.
I don't think I'll ever mentally be an adult. Let's look at this landmark.
So, we have quite a few people commenting that they love the music they've heard in game, either from the stream or from one of the clips we've done.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all love it here. We think it's progressed great. The audio team's done an amazing job.
Oh, such a good job. Yeah.
So I will say, while we have nothing to announce just yet, I do believe there are plans to get that soundtrack out there into players' hands. Once again, stay tuned on social. As soon as we know more, we're gonna let you know. We won't stay silent, as it were.
Yeah, I love the main theme song for the TV show. Just turned out. I don't think it could turn out any better.
Yeah, it's great. So once again, and this is from me and you. Props to our audio team. Hopefully you guys agree.
Yep.
They really.
And the composer, just a knockout job.
They did a great job.
Great job. Dodge. Grab.
So thinking
him in the air.
All right. Thinking later this year, somebody's asking about the Switch version.
Mm-hmm.
Are we planning on a physical copy for the Switch, or is it going to be digital only? Do you know?
We're planning on a physical copy of the Switch.
So physical copy on the Switch, but that is something that's currently it's planned for later this year. We don't have an exact month yet.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
But we are working we got people working on it right now, and it's really important to us that the Switch is awesome. I personally feel like this game is just made for the Switch. It's just dying to be on the Switch. So we want to make sure it's really, really good, and to do that, that's why we it's not releasing on May 22nd, because we didn't feel like we would do it justice to what we want it to be.
We will make the Switch version all it can be, and it's going to be the full version of the game. It's going to have all the same mechanics.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's going to be the game.
It will be the game.
All right. look for that later this year, and you can take your shark on the go.
I can't wait to do that. Looky here. Another landmark.
I used to buy Sunshine sunscreen until I read it contains 7 hormone-disrupting
Sunshine
chemicals
sunscreen.
and palm oil.
It's good for the water, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Looks like you've been actively working out, you know, clearing your way out through the bayou. Are you trying to grow to be, you know, level 10, be an adult, and take the fight back to the Gulf? Is that what you're trying to do here, Bill?
That's what I'm attempting.
Okay. So.
Oh.
No one can tell what may be found in a shark's stomach. It's truly the ocean's garbage can.
Got a couple alligators on the way. I think looks could probably help. He's booking it somewhere.
What's this crazy bastard doing?
He's going places.
Let's go get him.
Unlike you, he can travel on land and not die.
It's true. That's not fair.
Well, that's just how nature intended. However, as we've been learning, your shark has a thing with what nature intended, and I believe she likes to throw out that playbook.
Yeah.
So, the sharks don't have exterior bones or even interior bones. My knowledge of sharks is correct.
Yeah, that would be correct.
All right, so shark facts.
Oh, I love once I'm big enough to just slaughter the alligators, especially when they torment me when I'm a poor little baby.
So you like coming back for revenge, is what I'm
Exactly.
getting. Once again, Bill, the true monster of the ocean. A couple people asking some techish questions. So the game is built using Unreal Engine 4.
Correct.
And we're currently targeting, as we previously talked about, PC via the Epic Games Store this year. It'll be coming to Steam next year. PS4 and Xbox, once again, just a couple days away, along with the Epic Games Store. Switch later this year. Currently no plans for the Stadia or some of the other streaming platforms, but we'll see what the future holds. But that is not currently on our list of things we're pursuing, to my knowledge. Bill, feel free to correct me.
You would be correct.
All right.
At least not at the current moment.
Not current.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you took a wrong turn somewhere.
No, I'm hunting. I'm
Okay.
Trying to get all these landmarks.
Gotcha. This looks like a place maybe you can meet a friendly alligator named Rosie.
I don't think she's very friendly.
I mean, she's got a bow.
In spite of the
She seems so
reputations as
nice.
wrestlers, alligators haven't mastered the nuances of scientific holds like the figure 4.
So here before I run out of air.
Really, you do that? You remembered that fact.
I did.
He's learning.
Slowly.
Question about how you grow in the game, since people have been watching you grow.
Yep.
Are there areas that become
The clever
inaccessible as you
predator
grow
shows
in the
a
game?
well-developed talent
No, I
for
mean,
finding
you know,
food.
we designed this so you can still be able to get all through the world, even as you grow. There might be like some small, you know, nook and crannies that you can't get to, but all the major areas that you need to get to, you can still get there.
You're going to be able to find your way.
Yeah.
Okay. And related to that, people kind of want to know more about how new areas just become available. Well, some of you can just swim directly to from the start of the game, and that's actually almost all the areas you can swim directly to. You just might have to take the long way.
Yep.
As you might have noticed through Bill's playthrough today, he's run into some gates that have been kind of gated and say, oh, you need to be an adult. And that's a requirement for you to be able to break down that gate. and that opens up a lot of shortcuts that'll help you enhance your speed as you swim through the worlds. And there's even some other ways to get around too, like perhaps you whip shot a fish at some control somewhere and perhaps a door will open.
Yeah.
That allows a more direct path from one area to the next.
Yeah, so really the only time the game is not fully opened up is right when you're in the baby.
So right in that beginner prologue section.
Yeah, and then and that's when you're in this region, Faulted Bayou, and then once you become teen, you're able to break your first grate, which is located here. Really, at that point,
the rest of the game world you can swim to
anywhere you want through all these areas. You're gonna have to take the long way,
but you might have to swim fast too.
Yeah, and and keep in mind there are a lot of great resources to get in the area, but it will get really hard. I would consider myself pretty decent at the game, and as you saw, I got my butt kicked when I was in the ocean. So the golf, you're gonna want to be Elder Mega before you to feel comfortable.
Okay.
Even then, there are things that are bigger than you.
So, following up on that, so somebody is asking, is this based on a real-world area? Well, it's based on a fictionalized Gulf Coast, and each of the major biomes kinda is based on a real-world location. The swamps of Louisiana, for example, the sandy beaches in Florida. So, all these places kinda have grounding of a real-world location, but they are a fictionalized take of the Gulf Coast of the southern United States of America.
Yeah, that we took some liberty on that. We thought that would be more fun to, take it, fictionalize it, so we can basically set this up any way that we want to.
So yeah, have a bit more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Here we got albino barracuda.
Want to read this comment in from Unknown Avenger. Give that man playing a cookie, because he's more like a land eater, am I right?
Yep. Here we go. Come on, you want me to do it?
I don't think you did it, Bill.
You didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
I tried to.
You did try, but
where'd I go? Did I
don't
to the moon? Apparently.
He left.
New feature.
So, controls question.
Okay.
Obviously, you're using an Xbox controller right now. You're doing a great job with it, by the way.
Thank you.
But the game can also, on PC, be controlled with a keyboard and mouse. I personally prefer playing with the keyboard and mouse. I don't have any issues with it. I don't think either one's particularly better. I think it's down to personal preference.
Yeah, definitely preference.
I know we have people who play with both internally, and we've iterated on both sets a lot.
Yep.
So we think both people who prefer a keyboard and mouse on PC and people who prefer the controller will be comfortable playing the game the way they want to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, when we were developing this, we made sure that we dual developed for both, so that they were really, good and enjoyable. And, we've done a lot of testing to get that. The reason why I'm using a controller is I tend third-person perspective games. I just prefer controller.
Okay.
If ever it's a first-person shooter, hands down, give me a mouse and keyboard.
I think that's a perfectly reasonable opinion on the subject.
Until local police departments settle a dispute over jurisdiction, these two remain a popular attraction for selfie-seeking snorkelers.
So, after you either fight or destroy this barracuda, as it were, would you mind popping up to the surface? I think it'll help me answer the question I'm seeing.
Okay.
And take a look at the city skyline. Somebody's asking if this game has any tie-ins with Killing Floor 2. I don't know, Bill. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I mean, what's that building?
Yeah. Something, biogenetics, mutations.
Yeah, what's that
clones.
Say? What's that say there on the bottom? Something Orzine?
Yeah.
Orzine.
Heard of them before.
Tech.
And to go back, because we have found the perfect sign once again. For all those Alan Wilson lovers in the house. Sunshine, sunscreen. Protect your neck. You heard it here first.
But, every time I look at that picture of Alan, it just cracks me up.
But they're not today's sponsor, so we're not going to dwell on them.
Yeah. It's Alan just with a missing tooth.
Yeah. You mean that's not normally missing?
No.
Oh. Or perhaps Big B Swamp Tours.
You know?
Another fine business here.
A big shout out to Brian Lord. He's our lead QA tester, and he's done a phenomenal job making this, making sure this game works and is good for you guys.
And there he is, holding Rosie, who once again has her bow on. She has to be so nice. I'm excited to meet her. We hope everybody else is excited to meet her. It's going to be great.
Isn't that the case for all little cute little baby things?
Yeah.
They're always so like nice and cute until they grow up and get jaded with the world.
I think that's just the teen phase, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there a setting to increase the amount of shark puns in the game? There is not. However, if you follow the Tripwire community team in any way, we can help you with that. Guaranteed. We'll take a bite out of your need. Mm-hmm. Smooth sailing from here, I think.
Yep.
The bull shark is known to be a voracious, if hardly
So,
discriminating.
comment from one of our people watching. They've wanted to see a game like this since the Jaws games of yesteryear. And one of the things they're asking is, why isn't this, maybe not a full-priced $59.99 game that they were expecting to find?
So why did we not charge more?
That's kind of where the question's going. Like, how did we settle on the value for this game? Like,
Yeah, I mean, just this was just what we felt was fair, from right from the get-go of us creating it. Time to play and all that. Just sound like the fair price to make it.
okay, there you go. So, just to kind of expand on that a little bit, there's a lot of thoughts that go into, what should a game be priced? Game budgets have gone nothing but up over the past 20 years. It's now a lot harder to make art, to make things interactive. I mean, there's some really awesome games out there from the AAA, fully big budgeted, amazing games. And there are some amazing indies out there that are maybe, hand-drawn, 2D, that it's not that there isn't effort going into those, it's just they have to tailor to the resources they have, and sometimes that's a one-person team, sometimes that's a 10-person team. In the case of Tripwire, I mean, we're still ever growing, and as we've been growing, we've been trying to enhance not so much the quality, but just level up the types of games we're making for our fans. We're gamers too. We always kind of want to make awesome games. We play them. We may not always see eye to eye on all things. Trust me, we don't see eye to eye in-house a lot. We debate over design. We debate over, art and things like that. That's something that happens. It's natural. Just, there's a lot of thought that goes into, what is the right value for this? And for Maneater, that answer was, at least in the US, $39.99, $40. With some, regional changes. We think that's the right answer. Hopefully you do too. If maybe that's not the right answer for you, hang around, keep an eye on Maneater. Maybe it'll swim towards you at a lower price at some point later in life, and you think, now is the time.
That sharks come on shore to familiarize themselves with our habitats.
This never gets old.
We just like eating people.
Yeah. Just, man, if I had that amphibious organ, I'd be able to torment them even more. You can sit on the boats, but you got to be careful because they will hit you off the boats and do some devastating damage to you.
No, they're not going to just pet you while you hang out there?
No, they don't want to pet me.
No, that's disappointing.
No. Pluck this dude off.
Keep doing that whip shot. And you'll see how it goes in that little slow-mo that gives you more time to aim while you're doing the whip shot. very similar to Z Time for fans of our Killing Floor 2 franchise.
I just want to make sure sometimes I get a little greedy and I don't dodge enough. I get hit.
So I have a question from earlier that I forgot to go over, but it kind of dovetails into a question I'm seeing now. Some people want to know, do we have squids in the game? And tangential to that, are there any creepy monster-esque things that might be hiding in the deep related to squids?
Yeah, so we were experimenting with that. We don't currently have any squids in the game, but maybe someday. Oh.
From the man who never dies, Bill Monk, who just died.
But
I want to point out, just after,
I was distracted by the squid.
At launch, no squids. It is something that the team has experimented with. It is something that they're probably going to keep prototyping, if I had to guess, based on what Bill just told us. So maybe a little bit later. Keep an eye out for squids, but not at launch. Not a thing.
Really want to get to that level 10.
Yeah. Well, you're about halfway there.
Almost there.
Maybe if you got a couple more.
Now, if I could do the story mission objective,
it would push you along.
It would push me along, but I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
And we want players to be able to discover it themselves this Friday. Once again, we are days away, hours away, even if you want to count it that way.
Whew,
I think we're within that period where you can count by hours. And that's once again a question that's keep coming up. When is the game going to come out on each platform in each region? We don't have that answer just yet. It is something we are talking with our partners at Sony and Microsoft and Epic on to see if we can't figure that out. Once we have that information, we'll be announcing it via our social platforms, via the forums. So just keep an eye out on those waters. But we don't have that info for you just yet, and we don't want to tell you the wrong information. So we do know it will be Friday, May 22nd. And in some regions of the world, that may actually turn out to be May 21st if you are a time traveler from the future. Like Australia. So, and I think this is a good question. If people really eat up Maneater and bite into what it has to offer,
okay,
would Tripwire think about going directly into a sequel, Maneater 2, as it were? Would it also be sharks? Would it be something else?
I hope and dream that is the case. I'm already thinking about what Maneater 2 would have.
What new systems could be? How we could enhance the systems already there? You already got these things? All right.
There's quite a bit of them.
Okay. So we'll return that one back to the community. If you guys help make Maneater a success, I think there's a good chance you'll see a Maneater 2 in the future. Couldn't tell you when, but we'll take and enhance all those things you love and try and add some new things to the formula.
Oh yeah.
Keep it fresh.
I would personally love to be able to make that happen.
All right.
Because I feel like we've only scratched the surface of what a shark or
PG aquatic
type, game could be,
or even animal-based RPGs. While a lot of Maneater systems are aquatic based, I think tailing off some of these questions, there might be a chance in the future to kind of take that formula and move it somewhere more land focused, because there's a lot of other cool animals out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you missed.
So close.
You keep trying, Bill. Keep trying.
I'm gonna get it.
All right.
If any of you guys get that, make sure you record it.
Yeah, definitely make sure you grab those clips and send them in. I actually think we are going to have a couple contests after the game's launched, asking for some of your guys' best clips. So make sure if you're doing cool stuff, you're definitely capturing that and getting ready to send it in. Somebody's asking if the game will be on Game Pass on Xbox at release. It is not on Game Pass on Xbox.
That would be correct.
So if you are seeing any sort of advertising to that effect, please report it, and we will follow up and try and figure out what is happening there. So,
oh, look at this.
The threats to our ocean seem overwhelming.
That is certainly a legally distinct tire man. I wonder if that tire man can help me decide where to eat today.
It's quite possible.
And look, it's our sponsor, Flamingo Joe's. Remember, everybody, if you can dream it and it has alcohol in it, Flamingo Joe's can put a flamingo pink straw in it for you. Please visit him. He scares me. Bill, what have we learned about suffocating in air?
I always gotta push the boundaries.
Okay.
See these tasty people.
Tangential to what you're doing, can you at any point eat the floor, finally letting people kill the floor?
The world's not ready for killing the floor just yet.
All right.
The shark hunters
We have to wait for Unreal 5.
We will see them in
All right. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Unreal 5 will finally grant us the technology
to
allow players to kill the floor.
Yeah. I've been waiting for that moment, you know, someday.
And it'll even have co-op and multiplayer for killing floor too.
Yeah. To kill the floor. I mean, killing the floor with billions of polygons would be pretty sick.
Yeah. Yeah. And that kind of goes back to some of those game design questions earlier and engine questions. Is technology is always advancing in this space. It's always a great time. If it's an area you're interested in, there are a lot of free resources and tutorials and even tools you can acquire legally online.
Yeah.
And you can learn about what it takes to make a game. Some of our favorite indie games out there came from people who did just that. And some of our, employees here came directly out of our modding community. They were people making models and maps and, programming systems, and we fell in love with them, and they already knew the tools we were using, and they made such a great fit here for us at Tripwire.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a wonderful time. I'm so jealous of younger people that, just all the access that you have to information and tutorial videos, and how Unreal Engine is just readily available for anyone to use.
Yeah, download today.
So when I went to back in the day when I was in school, we didn't have any of that.
So that kind
we
of
still had the Dewey Decimal System.
I think that still technically exists, Bill. You just haven't visited a library in years.
Yeah, have you?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I go every couple weeks.
To the library?
Yeah, they're great places, Bill.
I go to the virtual libraries when I go on the internet.
Yeah. Well, we all have our own personal preferences.
Yeah. Well, I think you're the oddball.
All right. I won't.
Out of everyone watching this stream right now, which one of you guys have actually gone to a physical library in the last 30 days?
I won't say I'm not odd. I freely admit to that.
I mean, I'm definitely odd. I mean, I'm the weird one.
We're all weird in some way. All right. If you keep fighting these bounty hunters, I think you're going to get to level 10, and then you can return to the deep, and I think we'll call it there as you adventure and maybe re-challenge that killer whale.
I'm taking massive damage here.
Yeah, I mean, these bounty hunters have gotten harder. They got more people on those boats. They got more guns.
Assault rifles.
Yeah.
It's not very nice. I think I ate that guy's driver. Oh, I did. This isn't good.
So, pro tip, if you kill the driver,
Boat won't move.
Yeah, dead boat in the water. Who knew? Science.
I'm trying to find something to eat to health up.
I think you're kind of already
There we go.
chomped down on a lot of things.
I did.
So, speaking of consoles, somebody wants to know, are we considering Maneater for the next-gen consoles? Or will the current versions that we release for Xbox and PS4 work on the next-gen consoles? Do we know that yet?
It's another unsuccessful shark hunt of Port Clovis.
As far as we don't
Awkward.
it's an interesting question. It's actually one we're actually actively talking about here.
Yep.
We don't know yet. So sadly, I can't give you the answer you want. I would say we strongly suspect Maneater will just work on the next gen consoles. We haven't tested against that. We can't guarantee that yet.
Yep.
But you know, we have no reason to currently believe they won't.
Yeah.
And
you probably won't be disappointed.
And as we learn more about these next gen consoles, we'll be looking at, you know, maybe a more native Maneater experience on them, but that isn't something that, you know, we're ready to talk about just yet. It's something we're still learning about. Stay tuned to social, and you'll know more as we know more.
Yep.
So, sorry about
on that one, guys. Yeah. I was like, am I allowed to say that? Is Jared trying to trick me here? That I'm gonna get yelled at?
These are things we're actively having meetings about. So.
I just focus on making it so you can flop on the land.
Floppy fish.
Yeah, exactly.
The finest technology.
So I unfortunately had to retreat.
Yeah. So you didn't finish off those bounty hunters. So now you got to get your threat level back up.
Right after I kill this guy. Teach him to try to attack me. Never gets old grabbing stuff in your mouth. Alright. Let's go here.
I think that'll help you in two ways. It'll get a quest done, and you'll get those bounty hunters to come out, which I think will pop you over to level 10.
I do think you're right.
No. That's some shark thinking there.
Exactly. You know, and let's take a look.
You got Pookie Paw coming?
Pookie Paw. And when you kill Pookie Paw, you'll get the mineral digestion. What that evolution does is whenever you eat stuff that has minerals in it, you'll get bonus minerals, so it can help you level up and
upgrade your resources even faster.
Yeah, exactly, your evolutions.
As we swim past that glowing story moment that we don't want to spoil for you.
Exactly. I'm so tempted to eat them.
Could you pop open the options menu real quick again for me, Bill?
Sure.
This will help me answer my next question. Go to gameplay, I believe. Nope, go to audio. So you can turn down the narrator volume, which will be that commentary, if that is not something that you're digging. So yes, you have that option to turn that down. But there's hundreds, if not a small number in the thousands of lines, unique lines out there. A lot of them are super funny. Even though I've heard many of them multiple times, I still giggle. So,
yeah, I mean, we worked really hard to make it not repetitive and constantly popping off the same thing. There are still lines we've recorded I haven't heard yet.
So, but you know they exist.
Yeah.
All right.
They do exist.
I knew that option was in there somewhere.
Oh, look at this. We got a juicy landmark.
And some people.
You see that guy fall over?
Yeah. They were just so surprised.
The spring of '73 was a magical time in Port Clovis when local favorite Trash Talk placed 20th in the Derby and the city placed first in the country for petty theft.
That horse lake should be embarrassing, right?
There you go. Now you're level 10.
They put up a monument.
Now I need to go to the grotto to evolve at this point. So you can see on the bottom right saying visit grotto. And once I do that,
another shark hunt begins.
It's like the game is trying to tell you something.
I think, I'll just just take one guy with me.
You hate to heat and run, but
Yeah.
here you go.
You're like, I'm gonna let him drown.
Okay. Well,
Oh! Uh-oh.
poor that guy.
Uh-oh. Poor me. Look,
I'm pretty sure they are justified in their attacking of you, Bill.
No,
I don't think you're allowed to complain about that.
it's completely inappropriate.
Okay. Yeah, you know what's best, obviously.
Snaggle that up.
All right, so I know we've covered quite a lot of ground here, or swam through quite a few rivers, lakes, and oceans. Bill is prepping to head back into the Gulf to finish off today's stream. So make sure if you've got some questions that you're just biting to get answered, you start posting those. We're going to try and make sure to get to some new ones, not things that we've said before, as we finish off or work towards finishing off today's stream. Once again, I want to thank all of you out there watching for joining us today, helping us as Bill proves to be the true monster of the sea. Learning a little bit more about Maneater, caring about the game, wanting to know more. Your excitement helps us get excited. You really don't understand. Like we play a game for years at a time, and you know there are times when we might not see things as awesome as you guys who see it with those fresh eyes, and it's great to have that validation, to have new eyes come in and go, no, that's awesome, that's amazing. So thank you guys for helping out, for tuning in, for joining our communities.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just letting us know what you think about different things. That helps us both now and in the future. So once again, I just want to reiterate that. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Let's go evolve.
Let's go evolve.
The shark is now an adult, and she should probably spend less, save more,
Right,
and start
so
researching
you'll notice
index
here,
mutual funds.
Now I have an extra breach lunge,
Okay.
which means I can do even more fabulous flips.
Okay, that's obviously important.
And my lung capacity is higher, so I can defy reality and be on the land longer.
Obviously
'Cause that's what I
something
like
that
to
you
do.
really appreciate.
I do.
Okay.
And you notice that can level up a total of 4 times.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you are quite the land shark, as it were.
Exactly. So now you can see, now we can reach way higher up.
All right, now you got some
Still
jumps for
don't
that
think-
shark
I
program.
don't think I can, still big enough to get that license plate up there. That's gonna take.
Not with that attitude.
That's gonna take at least Elder
Okay.
to get that high. But yeah, you can, believe it or not, jump that high in Maneater when you fully evolve. There are also some organ evolutions that allow you to move faster.
Okay.
And then the evolution that we haven't talked about, that set has some stuff that allows
Also
you to
enhances your jumping and speed.
Yep.
Okay, good to know. Think that's something for players to look forward to.
If that's your bag.
Yeah. As I said, we want to see your tricks, so make sure you record them once you get your fins on the game.
Absolutely. All right. So now that I'm level 10, these Makos are going to be a lot easier as well because we are now toe to toe with each other. And when I get it to flash, I can grab them with my mouth, throw them at something, get an additional bite. He broke out of there.
Trying to swim away. Come back in for another attack, but you're not going to let that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so short work of those Makos. And you can get so big that you can just hold a Mako in your mouth like nothing. So one of the interesting things, I don't know if anyone's brought up, but when you get really big over something else, you can actually, whenever you bite it, you'll just grab it. It can't even fight back. I mean, it can attack you and get a hit on you, but you're at the point where you're so beast that it becomes trivial, and that's a really fun feeling.
All right. So while you're swimming out there, we have another question. Are we considering mod support for this game?
Yeah, so with the development of this, and I will say, we all start out as modders. We love mods. I mean, we couldn't have started without that. We only had so much bandwidth that we could do. This is also our most ambitious title we've ever made. We've never done anything open world.
Yeah, it was a lot of firsts here at Tripwire.
Yeah.
Story-driven, open world, aquatic game.
Right. And there weren't totally a lot of examples either of what you're seeing right now, at least. So we don't have official modding support as of now, but we don't have anything that's actively stopping it. And depending on how the community grows and this game does, that could be something that we look into for the future.
All right. So, just to reiterate what Bill said, not at launch. That is one of those options that we can consider for the future. Let us know if that's definitely something you think you want to see. And we'll see, what sort of resources it would take to make that happen. As Bill swims towards his revenge, or perhaps his second loss.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite revenge size level yet.
Okay.
But, I'm not a teen anymore.
Humans' attention spans are short.
I mean, that's the talk of somebody who doesn't sound very confident that they have the skills that will succeed in this upcoming fight. This shark on shark, or shark v whale, as it were.
Oh, I got the skills.
Okay. Because I've been told, once again, from somebody who's died several times today, that you never die, Bill. Just thought I'd point that out.
No, but this is the first time ever.
Oh, no, okay. Just making sure.
We got a hammerhead here. I think I can fight him now. He's only 3 levels above me. That. Alright, getting a little overly greedy here, so I should get a little more defensive.
And while you're continuing this fight, I'm going to remind people we currently have a giveaway going where you can win a copy of the game, a frisbee, and a beer bottle opener running right now. So you should enter if you want any of those things or all of those things. And I do believe I should also say that you can also get a crucial exterior or ballistics exterior SSD with also a copy of the game, which, I think that's worth winning.
So no little tip for you guys. Each region you'll see this buoy here, and this will indicate to you where your grotto in that region is.
So follow the buoy and the glowing line into the grotto.
It's here in the grotto that the shark can discover the absolute serenity deep within her soul.
So now I have a new save point. So when I want to go back down here, I can do that.
All right. Once again, prepping for his upcoming defeat is what I'm seeing right now. Not showing the confidence I would expect from a man who has professed he never dies in this game.
You're never gonna let that forget that, huh?
I don't think I will.
So tempting to go in there, but that would be counter to what the challenge that you've given me.
Okay. I mean, you can always, guppy fish out of this challenge.
No.
Another distraction.
Resist.
Yeah. I see how it is.
I gotta get my nutrients on.
All I see is you just swimming away
into the stomach contents of a shark is acutely aware
from
that
your
they
problems.
Just about anything.
Swordfish. So you see how when he moved out of my screen, I hit the focus ability real quick.
Yep.
So I get right back on him and take him down. Faster you can reset up for your follow-up attack, the better.
Okay. Another question we're getting in here is, when can people start putting out some of their own content for Maneater? Via streams or videos. And that is on launch day, May 22nd. You are free to show the world. We just kind of want, you know, some things to be hidden before then. We want players to be able to experience the story on their own without, you know, spoilers necessarily getting in the way. Which is why we've kind of clamped down on all those people who may have gotten some early release copies. We really want those others out there not to be, once again, spoiled by potentially seeing things online accidentally. So
It's just Jared being mean.
That's it. That's the answer to everything. I'm mean.
These fat little seals.
Maybe you should use your sonar and see what's out there. Not in terms of distractions, Bill. I think you're looking for a challenge.
I know, but you just told me to do it, and now I saw something. I want to.
This recreation of the Titanic was so accurate, 1,500 people died during its
That's a bit dark. I'm glad I didn't take that tour.
Help.
I wonder if it was a 3-hour tour.
Help. Oh, so special. Albino seal. I gotta get my albino.
A combat question. That I think we actually showed off earlier. If you eat the driver of the boat does stop, and no, other crew will not take his place. They will actually keep trying to fight with you, and it brings the boat to a stop, which may or may not be beneficial to your playstyle. I personally think it's much easier to fight the boats that way, but experiment. Find out what works for you. Oh, that seems big.
Now we got
Now we're talking.
Oh shit.
Now you're in a 3-way fight. Let's do it, Bill. This is it. This is not boding well, Bill. This is already going so south.
Okay, we got a lot.
Oh, there's that orca.
Shizzle nizzle.
All right, Bill. We all we're placing our hopes in you.
Now. Oh man, come on. This is sad.
Come on, Bill. Don't run away.
Oh man.
All right.
Well, I didn't expect that.
Sorry, guys.
And I think that's going to bring an end to the gameplay portion of our stream. So let's pop back to the main menu.
That was fun.
And, say hi to our audience. See if we've got any more, questions we can potentially answer them.
Are we back on video?
We will be shortly.
Back on video.
Main menu, Bill. Main menu.
Oh, main menu.
Main menu.
Okay.
There you go.
Main menu.
All right. So thank you, everyone who joined us. If you've got any sort of last-minute questions, pop them in. We'll try and get a couple answered. But once again, going over some information, especially those questions that have come up. The game releases May 22nd on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC via the Epic Game Store. We do not yet have final release times per platform or per region. We are working with our partners to try and get those for you. Once we have that information, we're going to be putting it out via all our social media. So just stay tuned to that. It'll be hard to miss. Nintendo Switch later this year. If that's what you're excited for, we're excited too. We think it's going to be great on the platform.
Absolutely. I got a question. Can I get another beer?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's root beer.
Oh, root beer.
Root beer,
guys. Root beer.
That totally does not have a shark fin on it.
But yeah, as Jared said,
No
super
shark fins.
excited and just honored that you guys are interested in this game that we've created. It's definitely was a big risk to do something so different and weird.
Yeah.
I'm super glad that we did.
Yeah, because as we mentioned, this is a lot of firsts here at Tripwire. First open world game, first real RPG, first, well, not our first story driven game. It's kind of our second. The first being the Killing Floor
Incursion,
which was our VR title. But there's a lot of new things going on here. It was a super ambitious project. Everybody working on the game has been so excited to see you guys, the fans, kind of rallying around this, telling us this is the game I've been waiting for. That does a lot to help people who are working on the game day in and day out get excited about that as well. So thank you guys once again. You've been great. Keep sending in some of that awesome fan art. It's been amazing. We love it all. And as the game launches, we want to see what you guys are doing with it. Show us how you play the game. Show us how awesome you are. Show us that you're better than Bill. We want to see all of that. So
especially Jared wants to see that.
I totally do. So we've got a couple questions that are coming in. Was there anything that didn't quite make the final cut of the game that you really, really wish Bill could have made it?
Oh, I mean, there are a lot of things that didn't make the final cut that I wish could have been in there.
All right. So
do I have to name any of it, or
can you give us maybe named up one that you're thinking about for the future, maybe something that maybe players could expect down the road, if not in maybe an update, maybe one of those ideas for Maneater 2.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would definitely be the other wildlife in the world eating each other.
Okay. So that's the one.
That was the big one that I so badly wanted to have. So, someday gotta have that.
But there's a lot that goes into that, as we previously discussed. There's design concerns. They could be eating the things you need to eat. So it's something that's not quite as simple as it may sound. Like not throwing on a flag that says these two things can fight each other.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's tons of stuff, with our grab system and thrashing things and grabbing things in your mouth. There was just a slew of additional things that once we were trying to get that to work, it opened a huge can of worms of additional stuff. And it
down the sewer hole, as it were.
Down the sewer hole. It brought a tear to my eye that we had to cut it.
Yep.
Hopefully not forever.
But if not in a potential DLC, maybe that Maneater 2, that nebulous thing in the future. I mean, and that'll happen if that's something that, if you guys really love this game and want to see more of it, as we discussed earlier, it's a distinct possibility. We, once again, can't wait for you to get your fins on it yourself. Let us know what you think, how much you're enjoying it.
There was one other one that I thought of.
Okay.
I really wish we had. Was that that objective, feed the mysterious creature?
Oh, yes. Which I think
that one was that really made me sad, but
I think that kind of ties into some of the earlier questions about mysteries of the deep and finding things out there. Trust me, it was something we were prototyping. Once again, it's not something that's made the final cut as is, but maybe down the road, maybe in a future game, there's definitely not just out there in the wild, but here at Tripwire, I think
that's a lot special of people, place in my heart,
who want to see something like that happen.
Who doesn't want to feed a mysterious creature?
Yeah, and who knows what'll happen if you do.
Yeah.
Questions about the price? $39.99 United States dollars. With some regional variances, which I do not have offhand. I apologize for. And that's across all platforms. Once again, Epic Game Store, PlayStation 4, and Xbox. Pre-orders are available on all of those platforms at retail. But digital pre-orders are sadly not happening on PlayStation Network. While we worked with all of our partners to try and make that possible, sadly, that wasn't something that we could get done. So we apologize for that, but you can join us digitally at launch on PlayStation Network, along with everybody else, and we look forward to seeing from you guys. Because I mean, my main system at home is a PS4. A lot of the guys here have Xboxes. We're all over the place here.
Yeah, I play them on all of it.
And then what happens at the end of the game, at the end of the story, Is there more to be had? Can you keep sharking around? Is it a new game plus? Is it something else? The people want to know.
Yeah, so I mean, like a lot of open worlds, when you complete the game, any content that you haven't consumed, you can keep playing and go and get that to 100% it and go around, have fun, tormenting people and eating things and finishing objectives. And we have quite a few. It's well over 100 and well over that. I don't want to say the wrong amount of different objectives and things that you can do and consume, but there is quite a bit of it.
Okay. And we kind of touched on that before. A hard mode or something like that is something we're looking at as a post-release, which of course would be looking at new ways to go back through that content. And I think you had touched on in the hard mode, maybe the apex predators will be respawning and things like that. Those are the sort of things we're looking at. And that kind of touches in on the next question, which is about bounty hunters and what happens as you work your way through all the bounty hunters. What's our final end goal there?
Yeah, so with the bounty hunters, they're always kind of pushing against you while you're trying to eat and torment these poor humans. And as you defeat bounty hunters, when you fight the boss, there's 10 different bosses, and they each give you a different evolution. And then you keep increasing your infamy level. When you completely beat that and beat the last boss, then we have like Bounty Hunter Plus, which are, extremely difficult, bounty hunters that will keep chasing you down.
Coming.
Yep.
All right. So you're never going to be quite done with those bounty hunters.
No.
All right.
They always want their glory.
They do. Next question's coming up. Why aren't there any other bull sharks in the game? Which there's at least 2 bull sharks in the game.
Yeah, so I mean, the honest answer on that is, we only had a set amount of resources and time, and we thought we could get more bang for the buck by having something else,
other species.
Yeah, because our even though it's it might seem like it's you already have a bull shark, it'd be really easy just to have more bull sharks. AI has their own specific animations, specific rig setup and everything like that. So that was just a resource call not to do that, but
decided we wanted to have more variation in the wild rather than bull sharks.
Yeah.
Okay. And unrelated to Maneater, or kind of tangential, would we potentially see any content from Maneater, like Scaly Pete, show up in another game like Killing Floor 2?
I mean, nothing to announce on that, but I think that would be pretty badass.
Yeah. So let us know if that's something you'd like to see. It's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Looks like we got one final question here.
Okay.
It's about achievements. Do we have them? I think we do.
We do have achievements.
We got Platinum Trophy. We got all the achievements. So PlayStation, Xbox. I will say caveat there is at launch, the Epic Game Store build will not have achievements. That is a system that has only recently gone online there. But it is something I strongly believe will be coming in the one of the updates in the near future. I just don't know when. It's something we're still looking at the systems to see what it'll take to bring online.
Yep, absolutely.
And maybe another question's being fed into me. We're waiting. Nope, looks like it went away. So I just want to once again thank everybody who joined us today at any part of the stream. On any of the platforms. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. Thank you all very much for tuning in, hoping to learn a little bit more about Maneater. Hopefully we got to some of your questions, most of your questions. I know we probably didn't get to all of them, but you can learn more about Maneater very, very soon. Once again, we're launching May 22nd on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and the Epic Game Store at $39.99. And we couldn't be more excited. We're so hyped to see you guys so excited about this. Just once again, thank you. Take one last opportunity. Win a free copy of the game. Bottle opener. Frisbee. I know. It blanked. I blanked. I don't know what a Frisbee is, Bill.
No more root beer for this guy.
No more Frisbees.
Yeah.
Apparently I don't know how to use them. Once again, thank you all. We were glad you joined us. Bill, thank you for being our special guest on the stream.
Hey man, yeah, drove down here, but yeah, and you know, one thing to add to you guys, we love you guys. Be safe during this challenging, weird time in the world we are in right now, and really just hope you have fun on the 22nd.
If our games help you have a better time during this period, we are so happy to hear that. So just stay safe out there, as Bill said. We can't wait for you to get your hands on this. And thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.